but it's a first down and 10. Play action now. This is Lewis, not Lynch. All kinds of time. Down the left side. Arias wide open. End zone. Makes the grab. Touchdown. Touchdown, Colorado. A 43-yard strike from Brendan Lewis to Daniel Arias, and he was so alone, it looked like he was late for school out there. There was nobody within 10 yards of him. 43-yard touchdown catch by Daniel Arias. A big, big play in this ball game as the Buffaloes win in double overtime, 37-34 over the Beavers of Oregon State. Back at the Stampede, sideline reporter Andy Lindahl, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Well, you got to feel the energy down here tonight. We haven't felt that for a while around here. We haven't, and luckily, I want some acknowledgement. I'm looking sweet. I'm all matching, a little black and gold.
I'm not sure I'm going to agree with that.
Look, I've come on this thing after rain, after sweating all day. No, it was a perfect day, and we got a perfect game of football. Yeah. And I feel so good for these kids right now because you talked, we just heard there, saw the Arias play there. Brendan Lewis just threw the ball today. This just felt like a good college football game, okay? I know you and Coach talked. We don't know that this will carry over necessarily next week into the Rose Bowl to upset UCLA, but I don't care. This is the most relaxed I've seen this team all year. The kids were having fun. There's good energy in the building, and I will give it to the Buffalo's crowd. The students have shown up. There was more traffic coming up here on my way up to Boulder than I thought there would be. Nobody has quit on this team. They've received great support. The players mentioned they've noticed. And you know what? I think we all got to enjoy our evening tonight.
Yeah, without question. But it was good to see the Buffaloes find some balance out there, be productive in the running game, which they were. We mentioned earlier that Jerry Broussard had 145 rushing yards. Brendan Lewis throws the ball well. Chase Penry made plays. Arias makes the touchdown. Brendan Rice does what Brendan Rice does. I mean, there were so many guys. We haven't gotten to the defensive side of the ball. How many guys were making plays in this game?
Yeah, and you know, it starts with Brendan Lewis letting guys have a chance to make plays. He wasn't afraid to throw the football. Again, we talked about the Brendan Rice play. We got a chance to get Brendan off the field. Not a pass you should throw. Coach said it during the call. Yeah. He did everything wrong. You broke every little rule that a quarterback has about throwing across your body and back into the teeth of the D and all that stuff. Doesn't matter. You let a playmaker make a play. Rice told us he didn't even think he was going to throw it because he knew he shouldn't be throwing that, and yet Rice is ready to make a play. Look, the offensive line has played physical. I'd be curious to know from you or coach or whoever, you know, sometimes just adjusting your splits. I don't know what that is. I don't know if getting the guys tighter together has helped. Something has helped this Buff offensive line play a little bit more physical. Yeah. It's not perfect, but there are running lanes out there. Coach talked about it. A little cutoff here, a little cutoff there. Jerry Broussard's probably going to the house a couple of times. They've really cleaned some things up, and they look very different since the bye week, don't they?
How about that play by Montana Limonius, Craig, the touchdown he had? That was right over your shoulder, right back here to get the toe down. And he comes to his turn break and says, I'm not sure he got the toe down.
So I'm standing, we're in the corner of the end zone right now, and I'm standing basically 5 yards that way. And I'm telling you, Montana did a great job of bodying the defender like this to make sure that he couldn't make a play on the ball. The defender made a smart play to decide, fine, I'm just going to drill you, and he got him. I mean, he got him full on. And of course, like, he flopped onto his face. I'm describing it for radio, even though we're on TV. I did not think he was able to scrape the toe down. I was so worried we were going to have that call back, but luckily, as Coach says, often sure, but never, you know, always sure, but often wrong. I was happy to be wrong on that one.
But Montana seems to have a penchant for that kind of thing. He's made some of those catches, and that's why you get so excited about this team, is to see the growth for the Colorado Buffaloes. Afterward, we heard from a number of players in the post-game press conference after the Buffaloes' double overtime win over the Oregon State Beavers.
Yeah, I mean, that's the moment all young kickers dream of. It was just cool to see my team rally after the miss. Like, I stepped off the sideline and I was down on myself, but nobody else was, and everybody just kept picking me up. And I think that's really what helped me get back into the right mindset to hit that ball.
I feel like I've been progressing every week, and I feel like my teammates are a big part of that. They're going out there making plays for me. The line is holding up well, so I just feel like we're all progressing as a unit, as a whole.
Last week we left plays on the table, so we knew that if we tighten up our game scheme that we could, fit the gaps properly, and we had fixed the game plan a little bit to free us up in the gaps and let the safeties rotate a little more. So it's pretty much just, we know what we're capable of doing, so just really focus up and take the opportunities that present themselves.
My teammates never gave up faith in me. They always told me that they still believe in me each and every game, even when we weren't playing well. So I feel like they've done a great job of lifting me up and helping me progress as a player. Coach Lanes, Coach Durrell, Coach Shev. Practice has been a lot better. So I feel like it all starts in practice. So every week we just keep progressing, and it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling knowing we're getting better each and every week.
Now, certainly some happy players after the Buffalo's double overtime win, 37-34, as they take care of the Beavers of Oregon State. We continue with sideline reporter Andy Lindahl. How about this defense, though, tonight? I mean, this defense bent many times. They didn't break much. And you're out there without Nate Lamb, the leader on that defense, and one of the best linebackers in America, Quinn Perry, Jack Lamb, Marvin Ham, Robert Barnes. Those guys, those linebackers were stepping in and making plays and upping their game without having 53 out there.
The defensive line played very physical. Yeah. And if they're going to do that, then the linebackers have got to make plays, because that means they're taking blockers off those guys. And you know what? Quinn Perry played a man's game.
Yeah.
Because the Oregon running backs, they may not look big. They are very stout runners. They get their legs underneath them. There are a couple times where, again, blockers kept off them. There's the hole. It was Quinn Perry in the back in the hole, and he just squared up and was like, all right, bring it to me. And the back would have momentum. And there, the last play was very critical near the end there, where he just stymied. I mean, he just stopped him. And Mark, we watched a lot of football. That doesn't always happen. We're talking not even allowing him to go forward. I mean, we had talked in pregame that someone has to step up and fill the hole for Nate Landman. Now, multiple guys are still going to have to do this. Nate Landman is a special player. Every time he's out, we tend to see it.
That's right.
I think Quinn Perry took a big step tonight, though. He was adjusting defensive linemen. It was almost, he told us after the game, is like Landman was in his head. You could see it working mentally for him tonight.
Quinn told us that he and Nate are roommates on the road, and he said Nate is always coaching him when he comes out the field. He said, I get out there, I can hear Nate speaking inside my helmet around the field. That's huge stuff.
The other thing I want to just give a shout out to the whole team for is there were a lot of penalties that went against them, and that over here was not a holding. On the first time they scored a touchdown to go ahead was not a holding on Chenault.
That was a Chenault got the penalty and end around to Brendan Rice, scored a touchdown. They pulled it off for holding.
That was a ref calling what he thought happened, not what he saw happen, because again, there was no holding there. But they did not let anything get them down. They were determined to win this game. Again, I don't know what it'll mean for win-loss towards the end of the year. I think this all will work tremendously as momentum towards the next year.
Listen, we've all gone through adversity in life. You have something bad happen, it's tough to pick yourself off the mat and then overcome that, and they certainly did that. A great victory for Colorado. They improved to 3-6 in the season. They're 2-4 now in Pac-12 conference play. Next up, you've got UCLA at the Rose Bowl next week, 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 5 o'clock with the pregame. That's Andy Lindahl, our sideline reporter. Coming up next to Stampede, it's also Hall of Fame weekend this past weekend, and we caught up with a number of Hall of Famers on their induction ceremony last Thursday night.